Hey Jeannie and whoever has to watch this for my submission for my outreach project. I am so excited to be able to share with you the exciting things that I got to do when I attended the Campus Christian Center's International Friends Bible study at ASU campus as part of the outreach for our Neighbors and Nations course through Justice College. And first of all, before I talk about it from my point of view, I just want to show you a little bit of clips. So I ended up taking my 21-year-old son, Tyler, who has autism, with me last Friday night to the campus of Arizona State University, where beforehand we stopped and had some dinner together. I would have chosen a cultural place, but due to his specific sensory needs and things like that, I wanted to set the stage for a successful evening, so we picked something that was favored for him. We ended up at a pizza restaurant locally owned by a family, got to talk to the woman there, and hear the history about their restaurant. So I employed a lot of the just the connection and interest and pouring into someone into the community techniques intentionally, even if it wasn't somebody that was obviously from another culture. One of the beautiful things about that though is that as we were leaving, the owner came up to me while my son went to the bathroom to wash his hands and things like that so that we could leave. And she just said, "I've been watching you interact with your son tonight, and I just wanted to say you're a really great mom, and God bless you." So the conversations that he and I were having were about what we were going to be going and doing at ASU and pouring into and meeting and loving international students. So in a way, the conversations that we were having together in our hearts with each other did rub off on someone else in the community, and I'm kind of happy about that. Now, on to what we actually did at C3. We came in, we got to meet some of the other volunteers. They brought in some amazing catering from a restaurant. As a caterer, I talked to Ben, who is the founder of International Friends, and he's been getting catering from the same Indian family. It didn't sound like it was a restaurant, like they're just caterers, and then they're located in Guadalupe, which is a subset of Tempe over on I-10, and it's kind of a lower income area. And so I think that they've been using their ministry as a way to pour into them and maybe get the word to them in the activities that they're doing. So that's kind of an amazing little branch of their connection that they're having. So they bring the food in so that it'll bring in the Indian students who are studying on ASU campus. And this week just happened to be, finals week, graduation week. So we got to celebrate with the students, and we got to hear about those that are going to be actually graduating and moving on. We got to hear about the students, like what they're doing this summer or what they're going to be continuing doing when they stay at ASU. Like some of them are going on to their PhDs, some of them are going on to their masters and things like that. So I intentionally tried to reach out to the women in the group because, there was a few of us, and here I was as a woman. Yes, I had my son with me, and that was a great, conversational starter for some people. So I definitely recommend going in as pairs, and because that helps. You can just be like, "Hi, I'm Jessie, and this is my son, Tyler." And that was always interesting because I get it a lot that I don't look like I could have a son who's as old as he is, but so that's kind of a funny bantering back and forth, and then it helps me to kind of ease into the conversation that actually I'm also a college student too, so I'm doing things, there's no right way to live life. I'm doing things all out of any kind of order or whatever, so I'm always fascinated to learn about how did you get to college? What are you studying? What drew you to higher education and things like that? And it just opens up a world of conversation, especially with some of these women, because I don't think that people ask them as much as they might the men. So there were, I want to say there were 4 women total out of like, could have been 30, 40 men there. And then half a dozen or more of the volunteers or the regulars that kind of come and have the conversations and things like that. And so I met a woman named Priya, and I met another woman, I remember her name, and this is going to sound horrible, but both of them had the same names of women from the show Big Bang, and now I can't think of what it was. It might come to me, but I spoke to both of them individually. They were at different tables and kind of just kind of learned more about them. And Priya is somebody who's been attending specifically for the food, and she definitely had the attitude that I love to come to these kinds of things because anytime I, hear the spiritual things, they're uplifting, it pours into me, I leave feeling better. And I loved hearing that she already has at least that connection with hearing the word, because they do share the word as well. And then the other woman that I spoke to, she's graduating and she'll be going on to do her doctorate in Seattle. And so I was asking her about the courage that it takes, because she doesn't really have any connections there. She's going to be leaving the whole community that she has there, and we kind of just talked a lot about that. And I just kind of asked her what does she kind of put her hope in, and she said similar things like, coming here and hearing these types of things. So it sounds like they're definitely making an impact of getting the word out there and things like that. I think that it's going to be the personal relationships. Like if I could go all the time and always talk to Priya, then I could get to a point where it's like, hey Priya, you said something interesting to me. Obviously the first night it was just an introduction night, but if I were to stay involved in this ministry, which I definitely could since I have my son, and that was a great bridge. He's 21 years old, he's college aged, trying to have him be involved in the community. They were all very open to like talking to him too and asking about him. And so it's kind of a great bridge for both sides of the community. I could like get my son out there socializing with people, even though it's difficult for him because some of the accents are thicker. And then I can expose them to, this is how, I'm loving in a special needs situation as a mom, as a woman, as a wife or whatever. And I'm coming out here into the community because I love other people. And I am looking at my clock and I am well over what this video was supposed to be, but clearly I hope that it's been known that I have tried to really truly live out the things that you've been teaching in this class, and it has exponentially made my life and my walk with Christ explode. And I have so much gratitude for you, Jeannie. Thank you for pouring into all of us at Justice College, and thank you so much for putting us in contact with people like Professor Lang and his amazing, incredible ways of imparting knowledge on us, and Professor Lutz and his storytelling is just going to have an impact on me for the rest of my life. And I am so incredibly grateful that I've had this opportunity to learn in this environment with you guys. And this outreach opportunity was not just a homework for me. It obviously